Social media mistakes. Are you guilty of any of these? Hello, everyone. My name is Tessa. I'm a marketing strategist, and I have Tracy Taylor, who's a social media guru, with me today. Hi, Tracy.
Hey, Tessa. Happy Thursday, which is Friday Eve in my calendar. I don't know about you, but Friday Eve sounds way better than Thursday. So
It does. And yes, I'm so excited. Even though it's pouring rain here, I'm still excited about what's to come
so
for this weekend. And we're talking all about social media mistakes and what not to do in your social media. And I'm guilty of some of these. I haven't even heard the full list, but I'll tell you, it's really hard when you're doing your own social media not to just, well, in some cases, get lazy. but Tracy, I'll let you go ahead and head on down that list of what not to do.
So let's take a walk down the path of crucial mistakes you don't want to make in your business social media marketing. Number one is don't spread yourself too thin. Now, that might sound a little hasty, but here's what it really means. Know where your target audience is, know where your engaging audience is, and stay kind of in that realm. So in other words, you're a brand new business owner, you're getting everything off the ground, and you go out and put yourself on 6 platforms, and you do 2 of them awesomely, 1 of them okay, and let's just say that you suck at this game on 3 or 4. Don't do that. Stick to the ones that work really well with you and grow as you can grow with the platform, because I think we said this last week, but it's really true fact, Tessa. Every platform is its own special community. And so you need to be able to work that community, nurture that community, love that community. And if you really can't, then you need to kind of stay off of it and only dive into that community when you're ready to go and do all the things.
Well, if you think about it, if you only have so much time and you're distributing yourself across these 5 platforms, you're giving a smaller percentage to each one of those.
Yep.
If you're and bigger than that, even, and this might be one of the things that you shouldn't do, is really know where your target audience is. And that way, if your target audience and where you can actually get a return on your engagement or what do you say? I think you say return on engagement instead of return on investment. Usually, Tracy, don't you? What do you say? Return on influence?
Involvement.
There we go. Her ROI.
It's return on involvement instead of return on investment. And so you got that right.
Yay. Okay. Well, I got something around that. Yeah. And that really is, actually being able to track some progress back in terms of likes or comments or shares or awareness. And so if you're spreading yourself too thin, you're possibly cutting yourself short of where your target audience is. If you put more time into that platform, even if you split it between 2, you might be able to get more return on involvement than if you tried to spread yourself thin. So number 1, don't spread yourself too thin. Talk to Tracy if you don't know which platform's the best platform for you, because your audience is different on each one of those platforms.
Yes. And it's important that you are on the platform that means the most for your business. So now that we've said that, we're going to move on to mistake number 2. And mistake number 2 is you talk too much from a business perspective and not from your audience's perspective. So what we mean by that, because that just sounds hard to deal with. Talk to your audience, put yourself in their shoes and figure out what are their pain points, what solutions do you provide, and come at them. The easiest thing I can do and tell people this is let's come at your audience with a place of a service heart, because you want to serve them and serve that community. So show them how your business and your services and or products, if you have products, you might be product based, can really help them. You have an answer for their pain points, and that's going to help you tremendously. And I know Tessa has something that she wants to add on.
I always do. I think that when I start marketing with anybody, my first two questions are who's the target audience and what are their pain points and what problem do you solve? And all marketing starts from that nucleus. You cannot do marketing if you do not have a clear picture of that. And even then you might have 3 target audiences, but you need to know what each one of those cares about. So I put number 2, not being aware of your audience needs, their pain points, because you have to, they do not care about you. They don't. This is just the fact. Everybody is caring only about themselves. So they are, like what you said, from their shoes, what is it that they're experiencing? What's going to get their attention? So definitely a huge win. And I think we slip into what we think the audience wants. And that's a big mistake, because we're making assumptions on what the audience wants and needs.
Right.
Do a customer survey, do some polls, figure out what the customers need, and then how can you write content around that? What are their fears? What are their and I think there's an acronym for it too, and now I'm totally blanking on it, but you can look at their fear, pain, goals. Right. So what is it that they need to do? And then speak from that perspective. I literally have an activity for all the partners over at Idea Pros that we have them go and look at social media as their target audience. So they are specifically looking for what hashtags are people, writing about and following, and what are the things that they're saying, what questions are being asked on the internet. Like, you need to do some serious research and know your target audience, because if you're just putting content out to put content out, you're not going to see any return, and you're going to just get frustrated by having to spend too much time.
So let me give you guys a perspective. This is not a normal thing, but I want you to think of it in terms of your business. I work with one client that alone, we have a rolling 83 plus page Word doc of content for her. And so we edit it, we audit it, we check it out, we use it, we keep up with it, and we have images in many different files to put with all of those things. So
80, did you say 84 pages?
83. And let me break it down even another notch. So this is going to really tell you how nerdy Tessa and I are. We only market her on one platform.
That's how it goes.
That's impressive. Right. So let's move on to number 3.
Got it.
Excited about it. So, and I don't know how many of these we're going to get through, guys. Just know that we may roll on to some more next week, because it will be, and I don't know, Tessa, we're going to talk about next week because it's Easter.
Oh, yes.
But we'll figure that out. But anyway, number 3, it kind of goes back into number 1, but it's a little different. So it's not being consistent across all of your social media platforms. Why is this important? People are like, well, first of all, you just told me not to spread myself too thin, and now you're telling me not being consistent. So they go hand in hand, because I want you to think about this. You as a person and on social media are giving people value, and not only are you branding your company, but in most companies, most times, most of my clients, more than not, they're solopreneurs. It is them and them only. So not only are we branding their company, but we are also giving them their personal brand across social media platforms. Mm-hmm. And we talked about this before. Tessa, my crazy long hair and glasses. Okay. Like the average person says, oh, just go get your haircut. That's not going to happen. When I get new glasses every 2 years, I try to stay within this same style, because then I can use more of my glasses. I have different colors. I have teal, I have black, I have red, I have purple. The eyeglass place sent me an email yesterday, and they have this really cool pair, and they're like black and turquoise.
But it's branding. It's part of your branding.
Mm-hmm. It is branding. And, so you're doing design, you're doing your values, you're doing all the things, but you have to do it the exact way on every platform, because you don't want to be over here too much and not on this side. It's not going to work for you.
Right. Branding's so
to do it. Yes. And I see the Momentum Studio saying, hi. So I want to give them a little shout out.
Yeah, if you are watching us live, hashtag live or hashtag replay, and then let us know too. Being consistent. Well, actually, let me go back one step. Being consistent. We'll finish this thought, and then I'll talk to you guys about submitting questions for T Squared marketing tips. So, being consistent, I think across the platforms, that's awesome. Knowing your branding, but more importantly, branding is deeper than just your logo and your colors. It is absolutely that as well, but it's that messaging, like you were talking about. You have this messaging document. It's how you want people to feel when they work with you. And we're actually doing, and Tracy doesn't even know about this yet, but we have this unchallenge coming up that is the business foundations of what you need for your business. And so we're going to post information. That's a Momentum Studio. So we will have that coming soon. That's, what is it? Literally what we call a money maker and how you build it in your business. So it's exciting. That's coming. But being consistent, know that you have to always be thinking about your target audience. Like you said, we're kind of going back to number 2. And what do you really want to be recognized for? And so Tracy being recognized on social media because she is everywhere, her brand and people seeing her is important to her. For me, I change my hair all the time. But you guys are lucky I even did my hair. So most of the time,
this is not 100% fixed. I do keep it, but I do keep it more. I still keep a dark color. It might have an eggplant background. It might have more of a burgundy, which is kind of what it is right now. It stays around the same thing. And I do change it just a little bit, but I don't make a massive change because for me, I don't know. I think it might shock some people.
Well, and we just changed.
Way. But I did go through extravagant getting up and getting ready today because, like Tessa said in the beginning, you guys, it is like a monsoon out here today. And so taking the dog out, getting from the car to the office, drenched. I've already been drenched twice. It was lovely.
Oh, well, and the consistent part too, one thing to know is that, well, if you see Momentum Studio, the branding has changed completely.
I just saw that.
Yeah, so we went bright colors because we were inconsistent with what our goals were, and we're trying to be fun and business related, and so our colors were drab and like dreary. They were more muted tones, and that's not us.
Momentum today. I'm bright. Look at me.
Look at you.
Look at
right colors. But the consistency, you can change branding, but you want to do it like strategically and know, hey, I know 100% that this is the direction I want to go, and then stick with
it. It's easy. Do a rebrand and call it business whatever 2.0. When I rebranded a couple years ago, we called it TNT 2.0 because I was rebranding. I did keep most of my colors, but I did change quite a bit. So that's okay too.
Awesome.
So let's go to number 4 because technically we've only got about 6 minutes left. So let's go to number 4. Number 4, and I just don't know how you don't do this. You're not using images.
Oh my gosh.
Images, right? So images, whether that's a quick photo, whether that's an actual like marketing type image for your business or something fun. Images traditionally get about 65% more views, but I'm going to tell you this, and it's a little bit of an older stat. And a lot of people they're not as much on Twitter anymore, but tweets with images get an average of 150% more retweets. So just imagine that across different platforms. I mean, why would you be on Pinterest if you're not using images?
Right.
How are you going to show behind the scenes of your business? You can take a testimonial and put it on a background and use an image for things. So you need to be using images in more posts than not. Right. And if you need some of these images or you need a consult about them, get into a call with Tessa or myself, and I will blow up your messenger or your texting or emails with images that you should be using in your business.
Yes. And not just stock. Right. And stock photos are great. Stock photos are great, but if you can add something to it that's your brand, if you can add your watermark, make sure that it's something that now, people can recognize is you, custom quotes, things like that. They make a big difference, like Pinterest. I mean, if you have an article with 5 points, like we're going to go through these 5 don't do's on social media or social media mistakes, like we have an infographic is easy to build from something with 5 points. So think about how you can repurpose those content fries, as I call them, from the content potato. What can you make into, what can you do with what content you already have to spread the word more about what you have? But use images for sure.
Exactly.
And even better, use video. So add in some video if you can. But images are good babies.
That's probably next week because it's not quite up at the top yet.
Yeah.
But let's roll to number 5. You're not engaging with your audience. Oh no. Let's just talk about the no-no of the no-nos. If you want to grow and turn your social media followers into your inbox or your invoices, you have to engage with them. So you can do it a couple of ways. Yes, it's awesome to go and engage with them as soon as they make an engaging comment, but there's a couple different things you can do. One, you can go through on Facebook and say you want to like their comment and then go back in a little while once a few people have commented and respond. Then your post is going to come back up in their feed as you have responded, and they're going to see that you are. The other thing is you can pop in their inbox and say, thank you so much for commenting on my post, or thank you so much for liking my post. Those are things that you can do. And there's a very strategic follow-up system that I have for LinkedIn that if you do it, you will turn your followers into dollars. And that's going to be amazing. So make sure that you really appreciate them when they like, comment, and engage on anything that you do, because again, they're helping. If they like, comment, share, any type of engagement, that's big for you.
Mm-hmm. And you can go,
yes,
and you can go into the post. If somebody liked, you can see all the people who've liked, and you can invite them to your page.
Yep.
So really go the extra mile, take the time to go back through your old posts, and or have somebody else, an assistant that just goes through and keeps track of replying to content. You don't have to do all this yourself. You can have Tracy and keep them, replying and building your following on the page.
To do all the things. So I think we have time for 2 more.
Okay.
And then we can pick back up here next week because I think we will be able to do
more mistakes.
There's like 30, but we're going to go through 6 and 7, and then we're going to leave 8's really big, and 8's going to be something that probably will take Tessa and I 5-ish minutes on its own. So I'm going to leave that for next week. But number 6 is you're not using hashtags.
That's true.
So
we just covered that last week too. So if you guys
covered that last week. So have your hashtag strategy. Know the 3 types of hashtags that you can use. So you have your brand, you have campaign, and you have community. So know that you do that. My recommendation is somewhere on your computer, somewhere on your phone, have several lists of those common hashtags that you like to use, because on certain platforms, you might only use 1 or 2, but on another platform, you might use, say, Instagram, you can use up to 30. And you want to use a lot, like your first 3, you want them to always be the same, as Tessa and I discussed last week. But then you can add all the extra ones. Pinterest, you have room for more. LinkedIn, you have room for more. One way that's helping on Facebook is if you put a few when you answer stuff in the comments. So utilize them, but have them as part of your strategy. So not only do you need, a Facebook strategy and a LinkedIn strategy and an Instagram strategy, you need a hashtag strategy. And so if you need one of those conversations, again, pop in one of our calendars. We both are happy to talk to you. If you want a super session, then get in both of our calendars at the same time. And let me just tell you the fun you're going to have if that happens. So we covered hashtags a lot last week, so I don't really think we need to do a ton.
I just put the link to the hashtag article or the Facebook post. So you guys can go check out the hashtag one. But there's lots of really good ideas in that.
So number 7, and then we can end with number 7 because I really want to save number 8 for next week. You're only posting sporadically. Mm-hmm. So basically what that means is, obviously we talked about being too consistent, not being consistent enough, not being persistent. But when they talk about sporadically, they're saying You might post on Instagram once a month. You might post on Facebook twice a month, but it's never the same time. Nobody knows when you're coming up. You are not getting in the algorithms. And here's the thing. If you are posting, if you're not posting enough, you are not building trust with your followers. So again, number one rule of business, people do business with people they like, know, and trust. But also on social media, they are looking for value. So if you are not posting, you're not getting likes, value, trust, and you're not getting dollars. Because, I mean, when you market, you want an ROI. So you can't say, well, I'm not getting anything out of this. Okay. I love it when somebody tells me that. And I say, okay, great. Let's do a Zoom call. Let's do a screen share. And I go up and their last post was 3 months ago.
Right.
Ding, ding, you ding, can't. A sign of why you're not getting anything. So, you know, you can't post once a day for a month, skip 3 months, and then go post 3 times a week and get mad at social media because it didn't give you anything back. You have to work it.
Exactly. And I would just say that being consistent, if that, don't put the pressure on yourself to say, I'm going to do 7 days a week. If you are just starting out, be realistic in what you can do. So if you think you can only do 3 days a week, then do 3 days a week, but do it for more than 60 days. More than 60 days. I really, really challenge you. A lot of people say you can build a habit in 30 days. I mean, I'm just saying, meet that goal for 60 whole days, and it's going to get easier. Tasha, who is an amazing lady over on Maui, I think she's on Maui, she does sunsets, and she has gone live like 300 and some odd days in a row to do sunsets. Every single day she goes and gets the sunset and just does a talk about it. And, you know, it didn't start out easy, but now it's a habit. She's built this habit. Her following is consistently ready for that beautiful sunset. So Tasha, I'm just giving you a shout out. I'll put your info in here for people.
I want to see that. Put her face
it's amazing. But she's actually fitness. She helps with personal defense. And she's amazing, but she doesn't talk about that. That's not what she's talking about. She's talking about sunsets. But this is, again, what is your audience? I mean, they love that about her. That's what makes her special. So not posting enough, just be consistent, give yourself a reasonable goal. Unless you have the money and can do a team. If you do post 7 days a week and even just 5 days a week, you're going to see huge difference in your target audience. And again, it's not necessarily sales as much as it is how many times you're showing up in their feed. And when you're training the algorithm to say, hey, I'm consistent, I'm here, not only will Instagram and Facebook show you more things, because they're literally limiting you to how much time you spend on that platform. So if you're only 1 day on, they're going to give you enough for you to consume in 1 day. You're not going to see everything. Same thing with your target audience. So, you know, you want to show up more. You want to be there for them and give them the information they need. So you're not posting enough, big mistake. But again, be realistic, be consistent, do it and do it well. I love batching and putting together content ahead of time. Schedule the posts. Lucky over on Maui. I have a lot of clients on Maui, clearly.
Right. Awesome.
Lucky Wellness with Lucky over on Maui. She actually has her blogs all planned and social media posts for until next year. I'm so proud of her. She just really buckled down. She got all of them. Everything's beautifully scheduled.
I'm not that great at it, but I mean, I schedule for everybody else. But here's the thing. I have to schedule in smaller batches because I'm scheduling for myself and every client. But I keep my old calendars. So I kind of have an idea of what I'm doing, but that is more helpful for me. And it's very helpful when somebody says, hey, will you send me a 30-day count? I will post for myself, but I don't know what to post when. So I send them out and gift them with 30 days of a calendar to get them back on the right track. So that's pretty cool. So I would say join us next week for Social Media Mistakes Part 2, because we're not done.
Part 2 next week.
Part 2 and 11 o'clock on Thursdays. That will be a great way to send you guys off for the holiday weekend of Good Friday and Easter Sunday. And all the things. I think it's going to be so much fun.
all the things. So if you have a question you want us to answer, T Squared Marketing Tips, we have a link in the post that you can actually go straight to. And I'm going to post it in the chat as well. You can submit a question. And then we also have a link in the post for getting reminders. So a couple things, hit the bell as soon as this live is done. Even if you're watching the replay, hit the bell so you'll get reminded when we go live. We are here Thursday at 11 a.m. Eastern time each week, pending no emergencies or anything like that. We try to be consistent for you in our content. And so we'll be back here next Thursday with the part 2 of social media mistakes that people make. And again, sign up to get reminders by text. It's so much easier. It'll go right to your phone and you'll be able to join us and chat with us live. We love engagement. We love talking with you. So make sure that you're here. If you have questions, we can answer them live for you. Q&A live. It's fun. Thank you so much, Tracy, for all of your wise wisdom of the social media world.
Absolutely. And I have some exciting news for you when we pop off here. I'll share with you in the background. So we'll see you guys next Thursday.
All right, guys.
Have a great weekend.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.